All right, so today we are looking at a presentation on keeping and breeding African grey parrots. So one of my favorite bird species and a parrot which I'm keeping for almost past 10 years since 2011. So to begin with, a little bit of my history. I've been keeping and breeding parrots since my childhood, but around 99 2000, this was my first budgie breeding experience, which I hand raised myself. So this was the beginning of something uh, where I truly believed that I'm very much interested in keeping and breeding parrots. So this was one of the initial step towards keeping and breeding exotic citizens. So looking at African greys, there are two types of African grey parrots: Congo African grey parrots and Timneh African grey parrots. There is a marginal difference in size, coloration. Timneh greys are a little bit darker. They have a reddish horn-colored beak, and they have a comparatively duller brownish maroon tail compared to a Congo African grey's bright red tail. Congo African greys are mostly found around Congo, Cameroon, Ghana, and given their geographic distribution, you can see color differences. For example, African greys in Congo will be more on the silvery side. African greys in Ghana will be more on the darker side and a little bit smaller in size. African greys in Ghana are believed to be very good in size. So these are the basic differences. Timneh greys are found around Ivory Coast, Guinea, uh, surrounding regions of Western Africa. So let's decode the gray. Why is it considered a tough bird to breed? Why it is considered, even though having so many positive traits, why people still have a tough time understanding the gray, fulfilling its needs? What is the reason behind it? So let's look around. So the positives of keeping an African gray: they are very intelligent. They have an IQ of a 5-year-old kid. They can identify simple shapes, colors. They can even do simple mathematical calculations. They have a very sharp memory. They have great talking ability. Not only in India, all over the world, they are one of the most sought after pets as parrots. So they are very interactive. They love to whistle like anything. Early morning, it is a pleasant sight watching your grays and listening to them. I'll give you a simple example. I used to have African grey pairs at my home before 5 years. So every morning there used to be morning walkers going by my house. There will be a group of people stopping really near my gate just to listen to the greys whistling. They are such crowd pullers. So they have a lovely voice. They are a medium-sized bird, can be easily accommodated into an apartment or a smaller home. Not very noisy. They can be cranky at times, but compared to the other bigger parrots like macaws, cockatoos, Amazons, they are not much noisy. They have a very long lifespan. They can live up to 50 plus years if given good care and diet. They are lovely mimics. They can almost instantly copy you right in front of you. Not only are they just they can just mimic, they can actually correlate. For example, if you're talking on your phone, whenever your phone rings, you say hello. Say 4 5 times, your African grey hears it. The sixth or the eighth time, before you say hello, it will be almost repeating. It will be almost calling out a hello. For example, if your doorbell rings and you attend to it, on the fourth or fifth attempt, before you itself, it will start, for example, calling out the person's name or attending to the doorbell. It will respond immediately. So they can not only mimic, they can correlate. They can understand that what happens next. So that's the intelligence of the African grey parrots. There are a few negative traits as well. For example, they will not trust everyone in the household. For example, African grey will exactly know who the owner is, who the servant in the house is, who the kids are, and it knows who to obey, who not to obey, just like a dog. So they will not trust anyone, everybody. They are true to their owners. They'll attach with one or two family members, but they are a little bit reserved. They are not completely open to everybody or very social with everyone. They are territorial at times. For example, if a gray is living in a certain area of your house, it considers that area as its territory, the people around it as its own people. If there is an unknown person or a stranger who'll enter that space, the bird might bite you. It will tell you by biting that he doesn't want that person in that vicinity. They are that territorial. Birds don't have hands, right? So they convey everything with their beaks. So a sudden bite on your ears or a sudden bite on your finger is an indication that it's trying to tell you something. They are very picky eaters. They don't they don't like almost everything you offer. They'll first pick out everything they like and leave the rest. They'll definitely, sometimes if they don't like whatever you have offered, they'll wait for hours and hours till you give it what it wants. They are sensitive to sudden changes. For example, even if you change the direction of the cage or move something nearby its cage, they are suddenly set off. They'll definitely figure out that something's wrong. You'll see them go silent all of a sudden. You'll see they are not much vocal. They are a little bit scared to approach in the, what do you call, the feeding area of the cage. So they are a little bit sensitive to sudden changes in their environment. Even they are sensitive to new people visiting their environment. They are damn adamant. It is tough to convince grays to accept new food. They are very adamant in accepting new owners. For example, if suddenly you decide to give away your gray and it is going to a new home, it is going to be a nightmare for the new owner at times. They might start negative symptoms like feather picking, self mutilation. So they are very sensitive to sudden changes. They can deliver a nasty bite. Their mandibles are very strong. They can crack tough nuts. So definitely the bite is very strong. They are emotional birds. They'll know if there are if something is going around. They are scared of new things. Something if a gray is suddenly brought into a new environment, you'll see them. They are very silent. They'll stick to a corner of the cage. It'll take a while for the gray to adapt and get over it. They are unpredictable. They are mysterious. Suddenly you won't know why your gray is behaving like this. You won't understand why it is biting. You won't understand why it doesn't like this food. So they are unpredictable, and a lot of their behavior is a bit mysterious. They are very shy. They won't interact or be social in front of everyone. To They are very much social with their owners, but in presence of new people around them, they are a little bit shy. So this is the basic idea behind keeping, and this is what you are looking forward to while keeping an African grey parrot as a pet or as a breeding pair. So keeping your greys mentally stimulated and happy is crucial. They are an intelligent species, right? They have a high IQ. They want to be regularly be occupied with something or the other. They can't stay idle. If I put you in a room, take off your grab your mobile, grab your laptop, put you in a 10 by 10 room for 4 days, 5 days, you will survive. 6 day, you will start banging your head on the walls. The same thing happens with an African grey in a captive environment. They need to be kept happy. They need to be kept mentally stimulated. It has to be given some activity or the other. Tamed greys can be given toys, new purchase, ropes, something or the other. Even you can give a lot of things from your household, like an empty plastic pet bottle. A grey will spend time, say around 1 hour, 2 hours, just trying to get the thing opened, tear it apart. So it's a good activity for the bird. An old bunch of keys will do the trick for you. It will keep the gray occupied for like say 4 5 hours sometimes. So they need mental stimulation. They need to be kept happy. So in nature, birds don't have toys, right? So this is what they do in nature. They chew branches, they chew the leaves, they'll play with each other, they'll chase each other. So try simulating nature in your environment, right? If you are having an African grey, give them regular neem branches, mango branches, what do you call, rosewood branches. There are a lot of branches which you can give. They just love to chew on it. They love to shred it apart. So these are the natural activities you can give your bird to keep it mentally stimulated and happy. A bored, unhappy, and malnourished grey will be your worst nightmare. So this is how bad it can get. There are a lot.
എന്റെ വണ്ടി ആളെ വണ്ടി ബുക്ക് ആൾ പറഞ്ഞു. അങ്ങനെ ഞാൻ ആൾക്ക് ആ ഒരു ഇത് മനസ്സിലായി. അപ്പൊ അയാളെ തെറ്റാണ്. ഇതുവരെ ഞാൻ അയാളെ തെറ്റി.
Sorry, hello. Yeah. So this is how worst your grace can get. A bored bird which has no active.
Guys, could we
Some
just
some
listen
some.
to him and only talk when he asks the question? We had a chance to ask our questions before the meeting. Stop interrupting him.
A bored, unhappy, and malnourished gray will be your worst nightmare. So the images you are looking at can be the worst it can get. There are a lot of people who ask me, why does my gray start picking its feathers? Why does it start chewing its nails? This is actually a mental issue where a bird is completely in nature. A bird has, like, say, it flies around 20 miles a day in search of food, water. It'll chew on branches. It will, say, play with other birds. But in captivity, you offer food, water daily in the morning, right? The bird has its food, drinks its water, then it has nothing to do the whole day, right? So a bird which is not much socialized, not much in interaction with humans, it's living on its own in a cage, those birds will start developing negative mindset. They'll start destroying themselves, they'll start playing with their feathers, they'll start playing with their nails. Ultimately they'll start mutilating themselves, they'll go to the extent of almost chewing their skin off, they'll bleed like anything, but still they won't stop. So to keep the bird from doing this, they have to be distracted from this habit. It is also linked with dietary habits. There are a lot of people who keep their African greys only on seeds. They will give only sunflower seeds. If I just give you chapati daily, right, 3 times a day, 7 days a week, definitely you are going to develop some deficiencies or the other, right? The same thing happens with your gray. Over months and years, if you are just keeping on feeding them seeds, definitely there will be deficiencies clubbed with boredom, clubbed with a monotonous routine, which slowly starts affecting your gray's mentality. It will slowly start destroying itself. So it's really, really important to keep your bird well socialized, keep it mentally stimulated, keep it active in some way or the other, or just sit and interact with it. At least spend some time with your bird, or few family members can, say, divide time to just sit with the bird and have a talk with it, or play with it, or just pamper it for a while. So that was the basics about African greys, how worse it can get and how good it can get. So now we'll slowly shift towards key points to breeding African grey parrots. So I have divided the entire process, and it covers a lot of tamed bird aspects as well. It covers a lot of feeding routines, dietary, diseases, all the things are covered in that. So don't think that this is just for breeding African greys. Overall, you can learn a lot about keeping your African greys healthy and happy. So I've divided into 7 portions. The first thing is settling down your greys. So most of us who started breeding African greys in the last decade, which is, say, the last 10 years, from 2010, the greys we received in India were mostly wild caught greys, right? Now recently people have started breeding their second generations, third generations, but when I started, most of the people had wild greys, and we used to get wild greys in the market, pet shops, everywhere we used to get wild greys. So you do not know what they have gone through before landing at your doorstep. These birds are actually caught from the wild. They are kept in hoarding cages in dark places, on minimal food, on minimal sunlight. From there, they are shipped to countries which can ship birds to different countries. From there, from point A to point B, they travel through flights. They'll reach there. They'll be caught again. The rings will be the cut rings will be applied to them. From that place, they'll be shipped forward again. Over there, people will catch hold of them, pluck their feathers to get them DNA sexed. So by the time this bird reaches your household, it is like terrified. It has gone through a lot of stress. There might be injuries, there might be infections because of the stress. So you don't know what they have gone through before landing at your doorstep. Even a tamed African grey, from a breeder's place to a pet shop, from a pet shop to an owner. If the owner doesn't want to keep it, from there to a second owner. So you don't know with what mentality the bird is reaching you. So do not expect start expecting immediately from your grace. For example, tamed owners should not expect the bird to immediately come play with you, talk to you. It won't happen that way. You'll have to give a cooling period. Even the breeders can't expect immediately to set up a cage, put up a nest box, and expect them to breed the next day. It is going to take time, right? So basically, they might be scared, stressed, starved. They wouldn't have eaten throughout their journey. They wouldn't have slept throughout the journey. They might have picked up some infection. So give them some cooling period. Leave them alone for a few days. Let them rest, regenerate, and recover. Observe from a distance for signs of illness, deficiencies, or injuries. Most of the grays, when I receive as wild cards, for example, if you see this photograph, these were some wild grays which I had purchased around say 2013-14. So when they reached me, I could literally see half of their flight feathers were missing. Many of their flight feathers were tied. Many of them were like very malnourished. They were thin. They were not very bright. Their eyes were droopy. So immediately we just leave them into a cage, let them rest for a couple of nights. We give them prebiotics and probiotics to just settle them down. We give them multivitamins. So this is how you go about initially when a new bird enters your aviary or your household. Do not give them a nest box immediately. Do not be in a hurry to give them a nest box. A scared gray will immediately enter the nest box and just stay in it. It won't come out to eat. It won't come out to say even they'll be so scared that they don't want to see humans around them. They don't want to see the new atmosphere or the new environment just around them. They'll just dig into a hollow and just stay inside the darkness forever. So don't give them a nest box immediately. Many people will be like very happy my gray started entering the nest box on the first day itself, but it's not so. They are just entering it because they are scared of you. They are scared of people around it. They've never seen humans in such close proximity. You just slowly observe the food and water intake. Just have a thorough look at what they are eating, how much quantity they are eating. Look out for a single bird which is not eating at all or sticking to one corner of the cage. You can separate it, keep it in a smaller cage where it has food and water access right in front of it. So this is the initial settling down of your African gray, where you just go about easy about your bird. You don't do anything different all of a sudden. Let them relax, let them get back to their natural health. On the fifth or the sixth day, you'll start hearing whistles from as early as 6 o'clock. Right? They'll start whistling. Males, females, all will start interacting, start whistling, and this will go on increasing on the seventh, eighth, ninth day. So these are the times when you actually know that the grays are getting acclimatized at your place. They are feeling comfortable. They have started being their natural self. So let them get to this point. So this is the initial settling down of your African grays.